How's it going? So today I'm going to try and run through it, but I am going to expand, if you will, on the AutoZone or just parts store people, not being mechanics or auto techs or anything in there. Car guys, they might be car guys, but they're not there to diagnose your car. Everybody wants to bypass a diagnostics fee and end up getting bit in the ass at some points and paying more. This is the story of what happened, and this is why I tell you don't believe them. About a year and a half ago, I was working on a 2003 Honda Accord. I was doing it as a freelance job for a shop, and the customers brought this car in and said, my O2 sensor is getting tripped, figure it out. It's like, all right, cool. You're paying me to do that. That's what I'm going to do. Put in my scan tool, check the sensor, the codes. There's a sensor upstream, bank 1 or 2. I don't remember. It was a V6, I believe. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to check that. There was no movement. So I get under the hood and I spot this little. There was this sensor. If you notice, it has a rubber grommet. This is the wrong sensor. It shouldn't have been there. The right sensor would have been this one. They're both 4 pins, but this one was the correct upstream sensor. So I know that at some point they went to a parts store and they got their code checked and they said, oh, sensor, here you go. Took it, gave them the wrong one and replaced it, and it didn't work. So it tripped another code, which was the sensor. Let me make sense of all this. So I'm like, all right, they got the wrong sensor already, but let me check the pins. It has 4 pins, 2 are positive, 2 are negative. Well, I was only getting power from 1 pin. Wasn't getting power from the other pin. The other pin was the heating element right here, number 4. If I go back to the screen, number 4 is highlighted right there, and it's LAF heater. Look at that. So, another fun fact was that the fuse right next to it, number 5, had a 15 amp fuse. Sorry for my bad 5. 15 amp fuse. Can we put a picture here together? So my running hypothesis is the following. They did have an aftermarket radio, so at some point they must have been playing with it. They blew the fuse. They said, LAF heater. I live in Arizona. I don't need my heater to work. I need my AC to work. Screw that fuse. I'm going to put it to my radio because I need my jams, my tunes. Shoot, my 5 didn't get any better. So they took it off, they put it on here, forgot about it, and their heater core code tripped it. Not the O2 sensor, just the heater element, not their heater core, I'm sorry, heater element. Took it to AutoZone. AutoZone person said, hey, you know, sensor, here you go. And on their way, replaced it. Even if they would have sold them the right sensor, honest mistake, I'm not blaming them for that. But even if they would have sold them the right sensor, it still would have been wrong because they're not auto techs. They didn't diagnose it. They paid me to come and diagnose their car. So they got more codes tripped. They needed emissions. So they brought it in finally to the shop, and I found that. Just on the sensors, because now they didn't even have the original one, so we couldn't even put that one back in. Just on the sensors, they paid over $250, $270 easily. Easily. When all they needed to buy was a $2 fuse. Of course, they didn't know that. That's why they brought it in. I put everything back. I had to, like I said, go and buy the original or the right O2 sensor. Put it in. Troubleshot it. I ran it until the everything checked green for emissions. Took it to emissions, passed, and everything was dandy. So, moral of the story, don't trust the AutoZone people. They're not trying to screw you over, but they don't know exactly what they're talking about because they're not in there with your car. They're not troubleshooting things. They just have a code in front of them. They have a list of the possibilities it could be, and they throw, hey, this is this. It happened with my mass airflow sensor when I bought my Impala. They tried selling me the mass airflow. I said nah, and that ended up being a wire that I just needed to reconnect together, repair. Actually, it was a repair, and I was fine. So there you go. For all the mouth breathers out there that like to say, oh no man, they're providing them free service. This is why we don't listen to the AutoZone people's opinion. Hopefully this helps you. Hopefully this helps somebody that might be in a tight spot. And I understand you're trying to save money, but sometimes that's just not the way to do it. Have a great rest of your day. Take care and be safe.